Hello students, welcome to social science class. We were doing chapter 1 development in which we have covered that for development people look at mix of goals, that is material and non-material things, and we have studied that World Bank published WDR, that is World Development Report, based on per capita income, in which they have classified the countries as rich and poor countries. And after that we have read the limitations of average income, that average income or per capita income is an inadequate measure for development. Now in this video we will read HDI, that is Human Development Index, and sustainability of development. Now income and other criteria. As we have read that for individual development, income goals and other goals are important, like respect and security, or in other words we can say non-material things. Same way for national development there is a need of good average income plus other attributes. Now what are these attributes? So in order to understand the important attributes for development, let's go through one example. We have taken the example of three states, that are Maharashtra, Kerala and Bihar, and their per capita income. This is the data for the year 2012 and 13. According to this information, Maharashtra's per capita income was 1,07,670 per annum, and Kerala's per capita income was 88,527 per annum. Bihar's per capita income was 28,774. If we look at these figures, Maharashtra will be called as most developed state and Bihar will be the least one. And in the same way, World Bank has also made WDR, that is World Development Report. They have also classified the countries on one basis, that is per capita income. Now let's go through another important information of these same states, that were Maharashtra, Kerala and Bihar. First of all, infant mortality rate. Infant mortality rate means number of children dying before the age of 1 after the per 1000 births, कि अगर 1000 बर्थ होते हैं तो उसके पीछे कितने बच्चे मर जाते हैं. सो इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र इज 25, कि 25 बच्चे मर जाते हैं आफ्टर 1000 बर्थ्स, और केरला का IMR इज 12 आफ्टर 1000 births, and Bihar's IMR is 43 after 1000 birth. Now if we look at the health condition or health status of these three states, then health condition of Kerala is the best one, because only 12 children are dying after 1000 births. और अगर हम महाराष्ट्र के साथ कंपेयर करें तो महाराष्ट्र का इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट जो है वो केरला से के डबल से भी ज़्यादा है. इट मीन्स कि डिस्पाइट हैविंग मोर इनकम देयर हेल्थ कंडीशन इज नॉट सो मच गुड, एंड बिहार्स हेल्थ कंडीशन इज नॉट सो मच बैड अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर पर कैपिटा इनकम. उनकी कम इनकम होने के बावजूद भी उनकी हेल्थ कंडीशन इतनी भी ज़्यादा खराब नहीं है. In case of literacy rate, again Kerala is ahead of Maharashtra despite having more income. And if we compare the net attendance ratio or NAR, net attendance ratio means how many children aged between 14 to 15 years are attending school or going to school. So these are also given in percentage. So in Maharashtra, if there are 100 students between the age group 14 to 15, only 64% are going to school or attending school. And in case of Kerala, 78% are going to school, and in case of Bihar, 35% are going to school. Means in these cases 36% are not going to school, and in Kerala 22% are not going to school, and in case of Bihar 65% are not going to school, and their reason may be poverty, or their parents are unable to send them to school because of lack of basic means. And these all figures are belonging to the year 2011 and 12. So we are not talking about the old period or the past. This is the recent phenomena or the information belonging to the recent time, where despite having more income, Maharashtra is unable to provide their citizens the basic health facilities, basic educational facilities, and there are cases of despair where people are unable to send their children to school. So what is the use of that income when we are unable to gain the basic facilities of health and education? How do you feel? अगर आपके पास भी मनी है, इनकम है, लेकिन उस इनकम से आप हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं ले पा रहे, मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट नहीं ले पा रहे या एजुकेशनल फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं ले पा रहे, तो उस मनी का कोई भी फ़ायदा नहीं है. नाउ पब्लिक फैसिलिटीज़. So it is clear from the table that despite having more per capita income, Maharashtra lags behind Kerala in crucial areas like health and education. ज़्यादा पर कैपिटा इनकम होने के बावजूद भी महाराष्ट्र जो था वो हेल्थ और एजुकेशन, जो कि बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट मेजर्स ऑफ डेवलपमेंट हैं, उसमें वो पीछे रहा. सो इट इज़ क्लियर from this example that money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services that you may need to live well. आपकी पॉकेट में मनी होने का तभी फ़ायदा है व्हेन यू आर एबल टू अवेल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज टू लिव वेल. महाराष्ट्र में लोगों के पास ज़्यादा इनकम होने के बावजूद भी दे वर अनएबल टू अवेल दी बेसिक हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज़ and basic educational facilities. So income by itself is not a completely adequate indicator of material goods and services. कि सपोज अगर आपके पास इनकम है तो इस चीज़ की कोई भी श्योरिटी नहीं है दैट यू विल बी एबल टू अवेल ऑल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. सपोज यू आर लिविंग इन अ विलेज विद ह्यूज मनी, तो उस ह्यूज मनी से आप उतना ही सामान खरीद सकते हो, गुड्स और सर्विसेज अवेल कर सकते हो जितनी वहाँ पर अवेलेबल है, या फिर नियर बाय टाउन या सिटी में अगर आप जा सकते हो देन यू कैन अवेल दोज गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज विच आर अवेलेबल इन द नियर बाय टाउन. बट इफ़ यू आर लिविंग इन अ डेवलप्ड सिटी लाइक दिल्ली और मुंबई और सपोज लंदन, अगर आप लंदन में रहते हो एक डेवलप्ड सिटी में, तो अगर आपके पास कम भी पैसे हैं, इफ़ यू आर हैविंग लेस इनकम, then with less income also you will be able to avail more goods and services than the person who is living in the village with more income. तो इनकम होने का तभी फ़ायदा है when you are living in a developed city. So money cannot buy you a pollution free environment. मनी से हम pollution free environment नहीं परचेज कर सकते. सपोज यू आर लिविंग इन अ दिल्ली, लेकिन दिल्ली में तो बहुत ज़्यादा पोल्यूशन है. मनी से क्या आप अपना एनवायरनमेंट जो है वो पोल्यूशन फ्री कर सकते हैं? नो. मनी कैन नॉट बाय यू अनएडल्ट्रेटेड मेडिसिन्स. अगर आपके पास बहुत ज़्यादा मनी है लेकिन आप उस रीजन में रहते हो जहाँ पर मिलावटी सामान ही मिलता है, तो मनी से आप प्योर मटेरियल नहीं परचेज कर सकते. उसके लिए आपको अपनी कम्युनिटी, अपना रीजन या अपना एरिया शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा. Again, we can take another example that money cannot buy you protection from infectious diseases. Here we can take the recent example of coronavirus, that people living in USA with huge money cannot protect themselves from the infectious diseases like coronavirus. Actually, the best and the cheapest way is to provide these goods and services collectively. कोई भी गुड्स और सर्विसेज अगर हम कलेक्टिवली अवेल करते हैं देन इट इज़ द बेस्ट एंड द चीपेस्ट वे. सपोज यू नीड टू विजिट चंडीगढ़. अगर आपको चंडीगढ़ जाना है, इफ़ यू विल गो बाय योर पर्सनल कार देन इट विल बी अ चीप मेथड, और यू विल गो बाय अ ट्रेन. ऑब्वियसली व्हेन यू विल गो बाय अ ट्रेन, अगर आप ट्रेन से जाओगे तो आपको सिर्फ 50 रुपीज़ ही खर्च करने पड़ेंगे एज ट्रांसपोर्ट चार्जेस. लेकिन अगर आप अपनी पर्सनल कार में जाओगे देन आपके 2000 रुपीज़ जो हैं वो स्पेंड हो जाएंगे. मीन्स कि व्हेन यू आर अवेलिंग द गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज कलेक्टिवली, क्योंकि उस ट्रेन में से आप ही जर्नी नहीं कर रहे हो, बहुत सारे और लोग भी जर्नी कर रहे हैं. व्हेन यू आर अवेलिंग सर्विसेज कलेक्टिवली देन इट इज़ द बेस्ट एंड द चीपेस्ट वे. वी कैन टेक अनदर एग्जाम्पल ऑफ सिक्योरिटी फॉर द होल लोकेलिटी. If you want to appoint one watchman for the whole locality, then it will be the best and the cheapest way to get the security. लेकिन अगर आप एक वॉचमैन हर हाउस होल्ड के लिए अपॉइंट करोगे इंडिविजुअली, then it will be very costly affair. Same another example, providing educational facility. Suppose you are living in a village but there is no school. अगर उस विलेज में 50 फैमिलीज़ रहती हैं और 50 में से एक या दो फैमिलीज़ ऐसी हैं जो अपने बच्चों को एजुकेशनल फैसिलिटीज़ प्रोवाइड करवाना चाहती हैं, लेकिन वहाँ तो कोई स्कूल नहीं है, देन दे नीड टू सेंड देयर चिल्ड्रन टू नियर बाय सिटी वेयर स्कूल्स आर अवेलेबल. लेकिन अगर 50 फैमिलीज़ में से 80% या 90% फैमिलीज़ अपने बच्चों को एजुकेशनल फैसिलिटीज़ प्रोवाइड करवाना चाहती हैं, देन ऑल टुगेदर दे कैन अपील टू द सरपंच और हेड ऑफ द विलेज to open the school in the village, and then sarpanch further can appeal to the state government to open the school for the students. And in that way, when you are availing the educational facility individually by sending your children to nearby city or town, then it will be a costly affair, but when you will avail the goods and services collectively, then it will be a very best and the cheap way. So this is called public facilities. Public facilities means when facilities or the basic facilities are provided by government to the citizens or the general public. When you will avail the goods and services from the public facilities or from the government sector, then it will be very best and the cheap method of availing goods and services. But when you will go privately for availing the services or the goods, then it will be very costly affair for you. So we can say best and cheap method of availing goods and services is only through public facilities. So it is concluded that collective provision of goods and services is cheaper than individual provision. Now our next topic is BMI, body mass index. So this is to find out the nutritional status of an adult. So in order to calculate BMI, there is one formula that weight of an adult should be taken in kg and it should be divided by height in meters square. So this is the formula for calculating BMI. If BMI is less than 18.5, then the person is undernourished, and if it is between 18.5 to 25, then the person is healthy, and if it is more than 25, then the person is overweight, and if it is more than 30, then it is the disease of obesity. So this criterion is not applicable to growing children. So this topic has been taught to you. This is your activity also. You will calculate the BMI or the nutritional status of your family. जितने भी आपके फैमिली के मेंबर्स हैं, दिस इज़ योर होमवर्क दैट यू विल कैलकुलेट द न्यूट्रिशनल स्टेटस ऑफ all the adult members of your family. Now next topic is HDI, Human Development Index. Now we have read that for development income is inadequate measure. Along with income, health and education are other important measures. Now UNDP, United Nations Development Program, published HDR, Human Development Report, and it compares the countries based on three measures, that is per capita income, health status and educational level. Unlike the World Bank, which compares the country only on the basis of one category, that was per capita income. So UNDP has conducted the survey on 177 countries, but here there is HDI table of India and its neighbors for the year 2011, in which we are showing the comparison of India and its neighboring country. So UNDP compared the countries on the basis of three measures, that were per capita income, life expectancy at birth and literacy rate. Means three measures: income, health and education. So when we compared the income, then Sri Lanka's income was the highest and second highest was of India, but there is a huge gap between Sri Lanka and India's income. This is per capita income per annum, which is given in US dollars. Then when we compare the life expectancy at birth, life expectancy means when a baby is born, its lifespan is expected. So it is expected in Sri Lanka about 74 years कि एक बेबी जो बॉर्न होता है उसकी एवरेज लाइफ कितनी होगी, 74 ईयर्स. और उसके बाद सेकेंड रैंक इज़ ऑफ बांग्लादेश. बांग्लादेश में लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी इज़ 70.7 ईयर्स. देन नेपाल्स हेल्थ कंडीशन इज़ बेटर देन इंडिया, एंड पाकिस्तान लाइफ स्पैन इज़ ऑल्सो मोर देन इंडिया, एंड हेयर India's rank is second last, that is at bottom there is Myanmar and second last is India. So health condition of India is not so much good. Then literacy rate. So highest literacy rate is of Myanmar, that is 92.7. Second number is of Sri Lanka, and third highest, that is 62.8. But there is a huge gap between the second and the third rank. So after comparing these three measures, UNDP has given the HDI rank to all the countries. Sri Lanka got 73 rank out of 177 countries, and India's rank is 135, which is very far behind. So the conclusion of HDI table is that Sri Lanka, a small country, is ahead of India in all respect, whether it was per capita income or health status or the educational facilities. Nepal, whose per capita income is less than half of India but not far behind health and educational facility. So by prefixing human to development, it has made it very clear that what is important in development is what is happening to citizens of a country. Development means we are talking about human development, and for human development, not only income but along with income there is a need of health facilities and educational facilities. Only then we can say that there is a complete development of human being. Now, sustainability of development. Sustainability means that whatsoever the level we have achieved in development, it should be maintained for long period. So development means to go up further or at least be maintained for the future generation. जो भी लेवल हम अचीव कर चुके हैं उससे और थोड़ा ऊपर जाएं या एटलीस्ट वही लेवल हम लॉन्ग पीरियड तक मेंटेन कर सकें. सो डेवलपमेंट डिपेंड्स अपॉन रिसोर्सेज दैट आर रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज एंड नॉन रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज, and you know the condition of both renewable and non-renewable resources. We can take the example here of groundwater, which is overused nowadays. Overused means if we use more than what is being replenished by rain. हम जानते हैं कि ग्राउंड वाटर रिन्यूएबल है, लेकिन इतना रिन्यू नहीं होता जितना हम यूज़ कर लेते हैं. एंड द कंडीशन ऑफ ग्राउंड वाटर in India is that there are so many water crises that in 2019 21 cities were run out of ग्राउंड वाटर, यानी कि ग्राउंड वाटर 21 सिटीज़ में बिल्कुल फिनिश हो गया. एंड कंडीशन ऑफ नॉन रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज लाइक क्रूड ऑयल विच विल गेट एग्जॉस्टेड आफ्टर सम ईयर्स is even worse. The crude oil reserves in different regions of the world are as follow. That is, in Middle East there is a stock of 78.1 years, and in USA there is a stock of 12 years, and in totality in the whole world there is a total reserve of 53.3 years. And if we talk about India, there is no stocks, and the condition of India is very miserable in case of crude oil reserve. The consumption is very much, but even today we are importing the crude oil reserve. There is not enough production in our country and we are importing from the other countries. But we know that development depends upon the use of non renewable resources. आज की डेट में इंडिया की जितनी भी बड़ी बड़ी इंडस्ट्रीज़ हैं, बड़ी बड़ी मशीन्स हैं, वो सारी क्रूड ऑयल की हेल्प से ही मूव कर रही हैं. सो India's development depends upon the availability of non-renewable resources, but we do not have the stock for the future. On the other hand, the use of non-renewable resources or burning of fossil fuels or crude oil also creating a pollution problem. So consequences of environment degradation are not nation specific. We cannot make responsible or allegate one country for the environment degradation. नॉर्मली अगर देखा जाए तो एनवायरनमेंट डिग्रेडेशन के लिए डेवलप्ड और रिच नेशंस ही रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं, क्योंकि रिच और डेवलप्ड नेशंस ही ज़्यादा रिसोर्सेज को यूज़ करते हैं और कर सकते हैं. और नॉर्मली ब्लेम जो है वो पुअर और डेवलपिंग नेशंस के ऊपर लगा दिया जाता है, जो कि जिनके पास इतनी मनी रिसोर्सेज ही नहीं है कि वो उन गुड्स और सर्विसेज को अवेल कर सकें. सो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट डिग्रेडेशंस आर नॉट नेशन स्पेसिफिक, इट इज़ द इंटरनेशनल प्रॉब्लम. Now the new question with us is that sustainability of development is a new area of knowledge in which scientists, economists, philosophers are working together. हमें पता है कि डेवलपमेंट जो है वो रिन्यूएबल और नॉन रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज के ऊपर डिपेंड करती है, और दोनों ही हमारे रिसोर्सेज जो हैं वो क्राइसिस में हैं. तो इसका मतलब सस्टेनेबिलिटी ऑफ डेवलपमेंट के ऊपर, जो कि एक न्यू एरिया ऑफ नॉलेज है, साइंटिस्ट हैं चाहे वो, इकोनॉमिस्ट हैं, फिलोसफर, पूरे वर्ल्ड के साइंटिस्ट जो हैं वो इसी टॉपिक के ऊपर, इसी नॉलेज के ऊपर वर्कआउट कर रहे हैं कि किस तरह से प्रेजेंट लेवल ऑफ डेवलपमेंट को मेंटेन किया जाए। और जिस तरह से इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे डेवलपमेंट का मीनिंग चेंज हो चुका है, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आपको भी अपने डेवलपमेंट के गोल्स को रिवाइज करना होगा। इफ़ यू हैव थॉट that you want to be an engineer or you want to be a doctor, just rethink about your goals, because the available material resources are depleting and all experts, all scientists are working upon the new area of development, that is sustainability of development. So you must also revise your goals according to the changing conditions. So with this, your chapter is completed. In the next video, we will start the history chapter, the age of industrialization. Till then, stay home, study at home, and be safe. Thank you.